unbiased trades here, and I'm gonna be going with my worst trade. Um, I don't think it'll take a genius to guess what ticker this happened this week. It was on VERU. I recently started a 2K account challenge because I really wanted to prove to myself I can manage risk, and really try and build up that confidence. And I will sadly have to say that like I did very good for 3 to 4 days, and then recently on VERU I just took two massive hits on VERU, and that was mainly all from emotional trading and stuff like that. But hey, if this happens, the best thing you can do is look at that trade and take away as much as you can from it and learn from it and really, internalize those lessons. And I wanted to show you these lessons as well, just for a short video. So hopefully you don't have to experience this, but I do kind of think every trader has to experience this to some extent. Otherwise, in my opinion, it's almost impossible to understand the consequences without really having to experience at least some of it, not the whole way, but at least some of it. So let's get into this. So this is the VERU trade. It's not the worst, but man, there was a lot of bad mistakes here, a lot of emotional decisions, and just it was not a good trade. But let's get into it. So, we started the day with a very early entry. I think I was on tilt pretty much straight away from the open. I really tried to meditate in the morning and really collect myself, but the day before I had taken, I think it was a pretty big loss as well, on VERU, and today I must have come in, trying to want to make that money back, and that was my first mistake. It was my first mistake, and that's why today, not today, sorry, but the day this happened, which was the 14th of the 4th, would have never worked. And this is like a point in case how you can, fuck up a very good trade. But this was a bit of a black swan event, but yeah. So we entered in very early, really bad, stopped out about 1 hour. Then I was like, okay, we lost 1 hour. I need to be protective of my capital. I was thinking, okay, well, this is maybe going to start pushing. I'm going to try and risk until up here for this next level. So I was in 1/4 size, and then we have the huge hold down, and I just froze. I didn't add. I didn't add. It happened so quickly. I should have been adding here or here once this really broke down, but I didn't. And when it unhalted, I was only on 1/4 size, and I really wanted to push that and make all that money back from yesterday and more. And I thought, well, finally, this is finally broken down. We've had this huge hold down. So many people are trapped. We're below previous day close now. This is looking amazing. So I added a lot of shares here to full size to risk above previous day close. And yeah, this was a bit of a black swan event, but the repercussions of me doing this and forcing this trade really, was then forcing all these later trades that wasn't needed, and why the day was terrible. So I cut off some here, about I think 1/4 size or so, because I did think it could keep on going lower. Then I cut most of it here, and then I just started re-shorting into it because I was like, okay, well, now I can just, get my average around previous day close and risk that level. And that's what I did. I stopped out a lot of times here, and then I went for one more short on above VWAP, because I was like, okay, well, we're going to get the VWAP interaction. But I was so emotional here. I wasn't, paying attention to, wow, this is such a strong uptrend now. The bid was getting completely filled with buy orders. There was huge strength in this move. Yes, this was a black swan event. I understand that, my data doesn't tell me this is possible. Well, it tells me it's possible, but it doesn't tell me I should be like thinking this is going to happen every time. Definitely was a very weird event to see this hold down and then recover it and, squeeze higher. But I took, like 2 losses here for no reason. So I pretty much 1/4 size, added, took a very small bit off, and then cut a lot of it for not that much of a win. And then lost 2 more R here, and then it was just emotional trading that made no sense. Going long here, no reason to, it was just no reason at all. Lost 1 R. Longed here, yeah, worked to some extent. I was looking for that dip buy. But then I was starting to go short and long, and it was terrible, absolutely terrible. And I got stopped out on this short because my stop was a bit too tight, and well, that was mainly because my entry was really, really bad. And then I went long thinking this is going to do like that kind of reclaim again, and that was just pure impulsive emotional trading. Didn't even have any confirmation or anything. So you can see like trading can really, you can always be on the wrong side of it if you're emotional and tilted like I was. So the main takeaways I can really take away from this is that going into the next day after having a big loss day, if you notice yourself, thinking about trying to make that money back, or your first trade is already like complete, shit, you should probably just stop for the day. Just stop, relax for the day, and take another day off and try and come back the next day. And definitely one thing you need to be very careful of is greed, because I was just being greedy. This ad over here was just greed. Um, Realistically, the only place I should have added on this was up here, and then maybe stopped out again because it reversed up higher. But down here made no sense, and I just was too greedy, and I should have cut more of my profits because this was a great trade. Even though it was on 1/4 size, I still made about like 1.5 R, but I wanted to make even more to recover previous day's loss and not just this loss. So you know, there's a lot of things to learn. I hope you go over your weekend and see, those worst trades and just try and look at them and really find those points of weakness that you need to address. This was not really system trades for me. That's just all forced. And really just another big lesson in my trading career that I need to get my discipline even better, get more rooted in my system, really understand it more, and just walk away on days where I know I'm not in the best emotional case, because otherwise you'll get days like this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and sorry for the short video. I just got so much work this week, but thank you very much.